Yeah. I don't know why you guys called this meeting.
You don't remember the contract that you signed?
Well, here's the thing. I'm not going to do that.
We are the stars of the Android revolution, and you'll do what we say.
Okay, fine. I'll do it. But this is bull. At the first sign of the moon tonight, I'll get it done. The Nexus 6P is pretty much everything most Android lovers want in a phone, but does it actually come without sacrifices? Well, in terms of build quality and design, the Nexus 6P is constructed of a metal design all the way around. The graphite color that I have here I find very attractive, and thanks to the rounded edges, the slim profile, and its super lightweight design, managing this phone is a pleasure despite its large size. The buttons are located on the right hand side, closer to the center of the device, giving you easy access. However, the fact that the buttons are so easily pressed and don't extrude the phone very far creates many accidental presses. And if you pair that up with the extremely sensitive and accurate fingerprint scanner, when pulling your phone out of your pocket, you might have a lot of "damn it" moments. There are reports that the glass located on the back encompassing the camera, microphone, and flash is extremely breakable, and I say yeah. But hell, anything is breakable when you drop it against a hard surface. Just ask your face next time you trip and fall. Needless to say, don't listen to every report you hear or read, because design-wise, the Nexus 6P is stellar and the best Nexus to date. One of the reasons why this phone is so large is to be able to house that huge 5.7-inch Quad HD AMOLED display, and it's protected by Gorilla Glass 4, and it has one hell of a oleophobic coating. All in all, it's a very beautiful display, and everything is extremely crisp and poppy, and the contrast is on point, although at times it's way too vibrant for my liking, and that can be fixed by enabling the RGB mode in the developer settings, and it helped out a ton, but it didn't fix every single problem. When it comes to outdoor visibility or just trying to view this phone in direct sunlight, to put it simple, it sucks. Even with RGB mode enabled, it's still pretty terrible. Unless you use white backgrounds on pretty much every single app, it's going to be a huge pain in the ass to make out everything on your display when you're under the bright sunny day. When indoors or in a shaded area though, the display is perfect. Viewing angles are great, and colors for the most part are extremely accurate despite the whole extremely vibrant thing going on with the AMOLED display here. And it's kind of weird if you think about it, because this display is made by Samsung and the Note 5 has one of the best displays. Anyways, if you pair that up with the dual stereo speakers on the front of the phone with that gorgeous display, you have an amazing media consumption experience. The speakers do not relatively take up a lot of space on the front of the phone, and they sound excellent. Whether playing games, watching videos, browsing, or just wasting time and sitting around doing nothing, it's going to be a great experience with this device. Adding on to that great experience is the adoption of the fingerprint scanner, which is located on the back of the device just like the Nexus 5X. I'm not going to go into great detail because I kind of did with the Nexus 5X, and if you missed that review, just follow the card at the top and it will take you over if you want some more information regarding this. However, the fingerprint scanner is extremely responsive and the built-in fingerprint integration is awesome. And that's all because of Android M. Google has begun rolling out Android 6.0.1 at the time of this video, bringing new emojis and support for T-Mobile's Band 12. If you haven't got the update yet, just keep checking. Just like myself, I haven't yet got it. However, I got my information from reports online. Android M is the backbone to this phone, and the experience is one of, if not the best mobile experience, period. It's extremely responsive, no lag or hiccups, very clean, and most of all, pure. Yeah, it's a pure Android experience, and it's one hell of an experience. My favorite feature is still the feature that I mentioned in the 5X review, and that's Google Now on tap. It's just a badass feature, and I use it pretty much all the time. Even if I don't need anything, I just use it because it's there. Oh yeah, and thanks to the AMOLED panel, ambient display, or Google's version of Motorola's active display, serves a huge purpose at conserving battery life, and it just works fantastic. Powering this vanilla Android powerhouse of a phone is the Snapdragon 810 version 2.1, meaning that it doesn't suffer from the overheating problems that plagued the original 810. It has the Adreno 430 and 3GB of RAM with a 3450 mAh battery. Pretty impressive stuff right there, right? Well, it should be. It comes with a very premium price tag and it's rightfully justified. The phone runs fantastic. Gameplay couldn't be smoother, multitasking or switching from background apps is easily done, and day-to-day stuff, not a challenge. And best of all, there's hardly any overheating. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's still there, but it's not enough to shut down your phone or cause any uncomfortableness whatsoever. Plus, the battery life on this little monster is pretty damn good, something the Nexus devices really haven't been the best at. The phone lasts me easily all day, averaging between 3.5 to 4.5 hours of screen on time, depending on my usage, and standby for days. Some of this has to do with the large capacity battery, but most of it comes from Android Marshmallow's amazing battery optimization and the deep sleep feature, which turns on when you haven't used your phone for a bit. It's pretty awesome. If you combine that with the fast charging capability giving you 7 hours of use in 10 minutes, the ambient display, as well as the battery saving feature whenever your battery gets super low, you just turn it on, you have an amazing device right here with great battery life. The USB Type-C, like I said, does support fast charging, and if you ask me, this is USB Type-C done the right way. Speaking of that, make sure you pick yourself up some extra cables. They're relatively cheap and more phones will be coming out with this feature built into them. I left a link in the description below of the ones that I use. Another feature the Nexus lineup has yet to impress really is their cameras. The Nexus 6P and the 5X have one of the best sensors found on a smartphone to date. And sporting an extremely large 1.55 micron pixels and being made by Sony, the phone not only takes beautiful stills, but it has some of the best low light performance I have ever seen. The 12.3 megapixel camera on the back of this device is capable of capturing 4K and 240 frames per second slow motion in HD, or 720p. The slow motion is actually quite impressive and capable of giving you great results, the same thing with 4K. Though you don't have optical image stabilization, the software stabilization does a fine job at correcting video shakiness, so no worries there. Also, to go along with that, the laser autofocus is really good on this phone, and to be honest, it's better than what LG has been putting on their flagships for years. The front sports an 8 megapixel camera, which is a bump up from the 5 megapixel found on the 5X, and honestly, it performs pretty outstanding. Again, it's not the best. I mean, I would still give that crown to the Note 5 or the S6, but it takes some pretty great pictures.
Camera, I'm picking up the audio, also seeing how well the AF works, like, I don't know. I guess it's pretty good. So, alright. Just want to do a quick test on how well the 6P can actually reject noise. There's a fountain in front of me. If I can switch, which I don't think I can. Nope. So, let me turn this off and then I will talk behind the camera as it points towards the fountain. We'll be able to see somewhat how well it rejects noise. Okay, so I'm pointing to the fountain right there, right there. Autofocus? Maybe?
So whether you're the habitual selfie taker or the internet vlogger, you'll still get outstanding performance. Plus, audio pickup is great considering it sports 3 mics with noise cancellation. Though it's super simple, the camera software to me is the Nexus 6P's downfall. It's extremely simple and intuitive for the most part, but it lacks raw support despite the operating system or Android M supporting it. Third-party camera apps just don't cut it for me, and I end up always going back to the stock app to avoid frustrations with lag, errors, or forced closing. With the price tag starting at $499 for a 32GB model, going up to a whopping $650 for a 128GB model with no options of expandable storage, this puts the Nexus 6P in the premium smartphone range. However, if you consider that those prices are for an unlocked device and it comes with CDMA support, plus you get the quickest Android updates available, I find the price to be completely justifiable. If for some reason you can't afford to pay that up front, if you look at Project Fi, which is Google's own cellular service, they'll actually finance you the phone in the same fashion that T-Mobile does Jump. In the end, the question still remains, is the Nexus 6P the Android smartphone we've been waiting for without sacrifice? No. Between the display brightness being below average, the unfortunate button placement and tactility, lack of wireless charging, and the fact that the phone is still too large for a lot of other people, that makes the Nexus 6P the almost perfect Android device. But that doesn't mean this still isn't the best Android device on the market to date. I love my 6P, I use it every single day as my business phone or as my primary phone depending on if I want to switch it up. If you're interested in this phone or device like it, such as the Moto X Pure, I think you sure as hell should buy the 6P because it's one great phone ranking on the top of the charts. Well guys, that pretty much does it. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it. Be sure to wave, share, tap, subscribe, follow, comment, and be easy. And I'll talk to you in the next one.